Freedom is a privilege. Yours has been revoked. You seek to earn it back. Then prove your worth. Lest your adversaries prove theirs first. Your burning pyre is your only hope. Don't let them snuff it out. Now go forth in glory, or be banished here forever.
Enough of these rituals, one of your exiles might be able to go free. So in the single-player campaign, you go on an epic journey with a large group of exiles. You meet a large cast of characters and have a chance to get close to them. What we're showing here today is our competitive head-to-head mode, where we sort of break out the battle system from the game and allow players on the same PlayStation or same PC to go head-to-head with the exiles and sort of prove their worth against each other.
Cool.
Yeah. So right now, playing live back there, we have our audio director, Darren, and our operations manager, Michael, and they're about to engage in a round of Pyre. So you have 3 exiles, and you only control one at a time, and you're trying to grasp this orb over here, and you're trying to use that orb to basically douse the opposing Pyre, which the Nightwings just did.
Wow.
Yeah. So once you douse the Pyre, though, the person who doused the Pyre is out for the following round. So now the Nightwings over there on the blue side of the screen are playing a man down.
Oh.
So there's all this sort of strategy and positioning and banishing rival exiles and trying to basically slam that orb into the enemy Pyre.
Oh.
Nice. Like right away, I see the art style is like amazing, like right off the bat.
Oh,
it's
thanks.
awesome.
Yeah, we have we're a small team at Supergiant. It's the work of 3 artists. Our art director, Jen, Camilo, and Josh. Those 3 guys have done the art for all our games, Bastion, Transistor, and now Pyre.
Nice.
I was going to ask, what do you call that art style? How would you characterize it?
Yeah, we say sort of like hand-painted 2D.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, but oh, there we go. There's a taunt. Yeah, we say hand-painted 2D, but there are 3D elements in the characters and stuff like that. But the point is, it sort of feels like almost like a painting or a beautiful drawing come to life.
Totally does.
Cool.
I want to hear more about this gameplay. So one person is controlling 3 exiles.
That's right.
And of those 3 exiles, are there specific types? Are they different? Like is one playing kind of a more support role, one a more tank, that kind of thing?
Yeah. So in this particular place, we have these 3 exiles. One's a nomad, who's the sort of human-looking guy who just got banished. Oh. And then we have a cur who just howled. He's sort of like a dog-like creature who's a lot faster, a lot more nimble, but a little bit harder to control. And then finally we have our demon, which is our larger unit, which is kind of a bigger, more defensive exile. But at the same time, they have a really wide cast when they use it. It's a lot harder to score with your demon, but if you are able to get it into the enemy Pyre, it does more damage to it, basically.
Gotcha. And then if I do take down the enemy Pyre, then whichever exile I use to take down the Pyre is out for the next round, so I have kind of a handicap?
You do have a handicap. That is, unless you are able to fling the orb in to the Pyre, which is a more advanced maneuver we're about to see here, I think. Yep. Oh, he just fell short.
So what are like the different abilities that you can do in this game? Because it seems like a lot's going on right now. So can you explain?
Yeah, sure. So to break it down, basically, the key sort of options you have available are you can switch characters, you can cast, which is where you sort of throw your aura forward, or you can jump. And so you can jump or evade to sort of get away from enemy auras. And finally, there's a sprint. Nice. You can sort of see the controls at the bottom of the screen, but that simple set of controls basically allows you to use any exile in combination, and they have different properties to maybe the way they evade or the way they cast. Or even the way they sprint, and mastering all those different properties is sort of part of the fun of the game.
Oh, okay, cool, awesome.
Yeah.
How long does a round last, or what does a match structure look like? Yeah,
so for these ones are going pretty fast because you're watching basically 2 pretty high-level players who at this point are just trying to beat each other. But we found that in multiplayer, a round could be maybe 5 or more minutes, basically, depending on the skill level of the players. When you're just learning the game, it goes a little slower. though we're debuting this here at PAX, and us as developers are actually playing against players here and finding ourselves sometimes losing, which is super embarrassing, actually. But you can, it's a sort of high-skilled game. And if you're really, really good at some of the skill-based aspects of this game, you can beat someone who's been playing for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what kind of players do you think are going to be the most excited about this game? People who like X kind of game will also like this one?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, for us, we've had fans of all sorts of games be really into it, whether it's action games or fighting games or whatever. For us, the way we think about it is like, we're really big fans of single-player games that had awesome campaigns and were like deep narrative worlds and good characters. But then you could sort of take those characters and use them in the multiplayer. So games like StarCraft or Command & Conquer, where you almost felt like, oh, I've got to play the campaign first. I want to understand what this world is about and what these characters are about before I sort of extend my play experience into multiplayer. And that's kind of what we're into here as well.
It's interesting because looking at this game on first glance, I don't see StarCraft at all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But as you were explaining the play mechanics, and as I'm watching them selecting the units and kind of their micro, I was starting to think of StarCraft, which is where my background is. So that's really interesting that you would mention that. Have you had any interest from people who are kind of on that more esports side, and interest from people who are on the RPG side? Any crossover?
Yeah, I mean, we've had players who are coming from all different backgrounds sort of enjoy themselves in the multiplayer. For us, because a lot of the fans coming from Bastion and Transistor want like rich, awesome worlds and deep campaigns. Yeah, we've just been sort of like, we've been really happy to see them kind of extend that experience into a multiplayer thing. It also invites a whole set of emotions that we're not used to seeing.
Really?
Because we often have couples or whatever come by to play the game and really like it. But then when you see them play against each other, there's this whole world of competitive emotions that we normally don't see people have when they're playing our games.
I know that there are quite a few people who may be looking to you guys, having been fans of Bastion and Transistor. What are we going to see from here that harkens to your past, and what's brand new?
Yeah, for sure. So it's made by the same people, so you can feel the same touch on the game, right? The voiceover work that you're hearing from the Archjustice, who presides over these rituals, is Logan Cunningham, who's a narrator from Bastion and from the voice in Transistor.
Oh, nice.
The audio and the music is all being done by Darren again. We have a lavish, rich, reactive soundtrack. And then, like I said, the artwork and game design, creative direction, and writing by our creative director, Greg, creating a brand new world, but I think still one that feels like it's in his voice. I think the part where we're all just really responsible for a really specific part of the game but collaborate very closely should hopefully show, and it should feel like a game from us. And we've been really happy to see the longtime fans, even though it's a totally different kind of game, it's a party-based RPG, it's a larger cast and all these kinds of things, respond and say, oh, it still feels like you guys.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
The art style really caught my eye, too.
Yeah, like right away, like pops right there.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was like going to ask, like, has there been a really big difference when you guys go into this kind of gameplay compared to, like, the other games too?
Yeah, I mean, for us, the whole process of starting a new game is just like trying to learn everything again. Even, you're almost best at making your game right at the very end when you're done with it. So you just kind of have to keep relearning all this stuff over and over and over again. But yeah, it's been a great thing to work on, even though it's been so different from our previous games. And it's been great to see fans of the previous games still enjoy themselves with Pyre.
That is
Absolutely.
awesome.
This is a different stage than the one we saw before. Is there any environmental differences to how the play is going to go?
Yeah, these sort of rituals take place at these mystical sites that are preordained, and each of them has unique properties, unique cover, and some unique mechanics associated with them. This is one of the first places you go to, which we call the Ridge of Goal. And here, we're watching as it's kind of like one of the intro sites, so it's trying to help you get your bearings around these mounds of cover and that kind of stuff. But we have all sorts of things in store that get a lot crazier as you progress through the campaign. And then